My name is Ariana Winters, and I used to believe marriages fall apart slowly. I was wrong. Sometimes, everything shatters in a single second. It was a warm Friday evening in Charlotte, North Carolina. The kind of evening where couples walk their dogs, where neighbors barbecue together, and where I should have been home with my husband, Jamal. But instead, I was standing in a grocery store parking lot, holding a bag of fresh strawberries when my phone buzzed. It was Jamal. At first I smiled. He rarely texted when he was working late, but the smile faded the moment I opened the message. "Don't come tonight. She's coming over." My hands froze around the bag. The strawberries slowly slipped from my fingers and hit the pavement. She? Who was she? My mouth went dry. My legs felt weak. But the shock wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was the silence that followed. I typed, "Who's coming over?" 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, returned, disappeared again. Finally, "Ariana, please don't come home. Not tonight." My heart dropped so fast I thought it would break through the concrete beneath my feet. The road home felt like a graveyard. I sat in my car for a long time. The city lights blurred through the windshield as tears filled my eyes. Every memory with Jamal flashed in front of me. Our wedding vows, our first apartment, the nights he cooked for me, the silly jokes only we understood, the way he held my hand during scary movies. Was all of it a lie? I didn't drive home immediately. I drove in circles around the block, maybe 5, 6 times, hoping he'd text again, hoping he'd say, "It was a mistake, baby. Wrong message." But he didn't. Instead, the house stayed dark, except for one warm light coming from upstairs. Our bedroom. The bedroom where our wedding photo hung above the headboard, where we whispered dreams into each other's hair. Tonight, that light felt like a warning sign. My hands shook as I put the key into the lock. I shouldn't have entered, but betrayal pulls you forward even when you know it will destroy you. The door that changed my life. The air inside our home felt different. Thicker. Heavier. A scent floated through the hallway. Sweet, floral, unfamiliar. Too unfamiliar. It wasn't my perfume. It wasn't any scent I owned. My stomach twisted painfully. Footsteps. Laughter. A woman's voice. I pressed myself against the wall, trying to breathe silently. And then I heard Jamal's voice. Soft. Warm. Gentle. A tone he hadn't used with me in a long time. I should have walked backward. Should have left. But heartbreak is not logical. It's desperate. My fingertips touched the bedroom door. It was open just enough for me to see the reflection in the mirror across the room. A woman, sitting on our bed, wearing my robe, her hands running through her hair as she giggled. Jamal stood in front of her, his shirt unbuttoned. My legs trembled. I grabbed the door frame to keep from collapsing. Suddenly, he turned. His eyes locked with mine. Everything inside me shattered. "Ariana," he whispered, voice a mix of fear and guilt. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even speak. I simply turned around and walked out of the house we built together. The world around me became a blur of streetlights and distant car horns. I don't remember driving. I don't remember parking. I just know I ended up in front of my friend Lydia's house, barely breathing, breaking open in someone else's arms. Lydia opened the door and froze when she saw my face. "Ariana, what happened?" "Oh my God, come in, come in." She wrapped her arms around me and held tight as I sobbed into her shoulder. "I saw him." I choked. "With her." Lydia's fingers tightened on my back. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry." I cried until my throat burned, until my eyes swelled, until I felt empty. Lydia guided me to the couch, draped a warm blanket over me, and made peppermint tea. "I don't understand," I whispered. "He loved me." "I know he did." Lydia took a deep breath. "Ariana, love doesn't prevent betrayal. People with weak hearts cheat, even when they have everything." Her words hurt, but they were true. The quiet after the storm. I didn't sleep that night, or the night after. My phone buzzed constantly. 20 missed calls, Jamal. 16 messages, Jamal. 4 voicemails, Jamal. I deleted every one of them without listening. On Monday morning, I finally returned to the house while he was at work. The smell of that woman's perfume was still in the bedroom. Her hair tie lay on the table. My robe was tossed on the floor. My knees buckled. I sat on the edge of the bed and cried again, not loud, not broken, just a silent flow of grief that had no end. I realized something that terrified me. I didn't recognize my own home anymore. Everything felt contaminated, touched, violated. The place that once felt safe now felt like a cage of painful memories. The first confrontation. Jamal came home earlier than expected. I heard the door open. His footsteps rushed toward the bedroom. Ariana, thank God. Please talk to me. I stood up slowly, facing him with empty eyes. Talk? About what? My voice cracked. About how you slept with someone in our bed, or how she wore my robe, or how you told me not to come home. His jaw tightened. He looked ashamed. I made a mistake, he whispered. One mistake. One. I laughed bitterly. I saw 2 wine glasses. I saw her hair tie. I heard the laughter. That wasn't one mistake, Jamal. That was a decision you made again and again. He swallowed hard. Tears filled his eyes. Ariana, I swear to you, I never meant to hurt you. Then why did you? He said nothing. And silence, I realized, was the loudest confession. When love turns to pity. The next week was suffocating. Jamal slept on the couch. He cooked dinner every night. He wrote apology notes and left them on my pillow. He cried once. Really cried. But pity does not erase betrayal. One night he begged, please don't leave me, Ariana. I looked at him for a long time. I don't even know who you are anymore. He covered his face, sobbing. But the truth? I felt nothing watching him break. Nothing but exhaustion. A test that changed everything. 2 weeks later, my period was late. I chalked it up to stress. But when it didn't come the next week, a quiet fear settled in my chest. I bought a test, stared at it for a long time. My heart hammered as the 2 pink lines appeared. Positive. I sank to the bathroom floor. Pregnant. With the child of a man who shattered me. I cried for hours. Not because of the baby, but because of the timing, the chaos, the cruelty of it all. When I told Jamal, he fell to his knees. Ariana, this is our second chance. Please, let me fix this. But trust is not repaired by hope. A new fear arrives. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I received a message from an unknown account. He told me you're boring. That's why he needed me. My breath caught. Then another. You're stupid for staying. And another. He loves me. Not you. My hands shook. I blocked the account. 5 minutes later, a new message from a different name. Did he tell you we spent your anniversary together? A cold wave washed over my entire body. She wasn't done. She wasn't letting go. And she wasn't stable. After the woman disappeared into the night, Jamal locked every window and door. He checked the backyard twice, then peered through the curtains like he expected her to jump out of the darkness. I stood there, frozen. Jamal, who was that? I whispered. He rubbed his forehead, avoiding my eyes. I think it was Tiana. You think? My voice cracked with fear and anger. He finally met my gaze. It was her. I know it was her. The air left my lungs. He stepped forward, reaching for my hands, but I pulled away. Ariana, she's not okay. She's unstable. I didn't know in the beginning, but now. You didn't know? I snapped. Jamal, you brought this woman into our lives. Into our home. Into our marriage. His shoulders slumped. I know. And I'm sorry. But she isn't letting go. A chill ran down my spine. The messages. The calls. The silhouette outside. This wasn't a breakup. This was an obsession. The woman I never met but feared. The next morning, I sat at the kitchen table staring at my tea. My hands trembled too much to hold the cup steady. Jamal sat across from me, guilt written on every line of his face. We need to go to the police, I said quietly. He nodded slowly, but something about his expression made me pause. What? I asked. He hesitated. Ariana, if we go to the police, everything comes out. The affair, the messages, my job, my reputation, it could all be gone. I stared at him. So that was it. His career meant more to him than my safety. I'm pregnant, I whispered. I don't care about your reputation right now. I care about staying alive. His face softened. I care about you. And the baby. You know I do. I shook my head. I don't know anything anymore. Her first move. Later that afternoon, I heard the sound of a car door slamming in front of our house. I looked through the blinds cautiously. A dark sedan sat across the street, the engine running, tinted windows. My heart raced. Jamal, someone's outside. He rushed to the window, his jaw clenched. It's her, he whispered. As if she could sense us watching, the car's headlights flicked twice, like a taunt, then drove away. But she didn't leave for good. She circled the block twice an hour. She parked behind bushes. Sometimes she drove slowly past our mailbox, staring. The fear built like a knot in my chest. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every sound made me jump. I kept imagining her standing in my doorway, or grabbing me outside, or worse. Being pregnant made everything feel 10 times heavier. On the third night of her stalking, I reached my breaking point. I'm going to the police station, I said firmly. Jamal didn't argue this time. The officer at the front desk listened carefully as I explained everything. The messages, the notes, the silhouette, the car. She looked at me seriously. Ma'am, this is stalking. And with pregnancy involved, you're considered high risk. She handed me a form. You should file for a protective order. Today. When the officer asked Jamal for more details, he swallowed hard. She won't stop contacting me. I blocked her on everything, but she keeps making new accounts. The officer raised an eyebrow. Sir, did you end the relationship clearly? Jamal didn't speak. The silence said enough. The officer sighed. Stalkers don't just disappear, especially unstable ones. I felt my chest tighten. The officer leaned forward. Make sure you never walk outside alone for now. If she shows up again, call 911 immediately. We drove home in silence. That evening, Jamal and I sat in the living room. The house was quiet, too quiet. I need to tell you something, he said softly. I tensed. What now? He swallowed, nerves dancing in his eyes. You're not the first woman she's done this to. The room went still. What do you mean? I whispered. He rubbed the back of his neck. She obsessed over another coworker 2 years ago. His wife filed a restraining order. The guy had to switch departments. My skin prickled with fear. And you still got involved with her? I demanded. His face crumbled. I didn't know in the beginning. She seemed normal. Sweet. Friendly. It wasn't until later that you already cheated. I finished coldly. He dropped his head in shame. But she has a pattern, Ariana. She doesn't let go. She becomes dangerous. His voice shook. I think she's capable of anything. The room felt colder. The shadows on the wall seemed deeper. I placed my hands on my stomach protectively. For the first time, I feared this woman might actually hurt me. Not emotionally. Physically. At around 11:40 p.m. that night, my phone buzzed. I picked it up without thinking. Unknown number. One single message. You don't deserve that baby. The phone slipped from my hand. My knees buckled. Ariana, what happened? Jamal rushed toward me. I handed him the phone with trembling fingers. He read the message. His face went white. Ariana, we're leaving this house. Tonight. But as we grabbed our things, as I packed a small bag with shaking hands, a loud, sharp knock echoed through the front door. Not a gentle knock. A pounding. 3 slow, heavy bangs. Jamal and I froze. The pounding continued. Bang, bang, bang. Jamal whispered, Don't move. The doorknob twisted. My blood turned to ice. Another message buzzed on my phone. Come outside. My breath caught in my throat. I looked at Jamal. He looked at me. And we both knew. This was just the beginning. The pounding on the front door grew louder, harder, angrier. Bang, bang, bang. Each strike vibrated through the walls like thunder. The house wasn't just shaking, I was shaking. Jamal grabbed my arm and pulled me back toward the hallway. Ariana, don't go near the door. Stay behind me. My breathing turned shallow, rapid. The doorknob twisted again, this time harder, like someone was trying to break in. Then a voice. Low. Female. Sharp as broken glass. Jamal, open the door. I know you're in there. My blood ran cold. It was her. Tiana. The woman who wore my robe. The woman who stalked our home. The woman who said I didn't deserve my baby. Jamal motioned for me to stay silent. But she kept talking. Why are you hiding? I just want to talk. Are you scared to face me? Ariana, I know you're home too. At the sound of my name, I clasped a hand over my mouth to stop myself from gasping. How did she know? How much did she know? The pounding stopped. Silence filled the house. A silence worse than the noise. Then, the sound of shoes slowly shuffling along the porch. A shadow moving across the blinds. She was pacing, waiting, listening. A predator in the dark. My hands trembled as I reached into my pocket and dialed 911. The operator answered calmly. 911, what's your emergency? I whispered so low I was barely breathing. There's a woman outside trying to break into our house. She's stalking us. Please send someone. What's your address, ma'am? Stay on the line. I gave her the information. The operator continued. Do not open the door. Officers are on their way. Are you in a safe place? I don't know, I whispered. Jamal gently grabbed my hand, squeezing it. She's still out there, I breathed. Stay quiet. Stay hidden, the operator said. But then, a loud metallic sound scraped against the window, like nails dragging across glass. My heart nearly stopped. She was testing the windows, searching for a weak spot, trying to find a way inside. We crouched in the hallway, Jamal trying to stay between me and the front of the house. Everything was quiet for a moment. Too quiet. Then, click. The lights went out. Every room. Every hallway. Complete darkness. I grabbed Jamal's arm, my voice shaking. Did she cut the power? He didn't answer. The air grew colder. The silence heavier. The house felt like it was holding its breath along with us. Then out of the darkness, the sound of soft laughing. A woman's laugh. Not loud. Not joyful. But cruel. Mocking. You can't hide from me. My skin crawled. Jamal whispered. She cut the breaker outside. I need to check if she's gone around the back. No, please don't leave me. I pleaded, clutching his shirt. But he pulled my hands gently away. I'll be fast. Lock the bedroom door behind you. Don't open it for anyone. He kissed my forehead and disappeared into the darkness before I could stop him. I stumbled toward the bedroom, shutting and locking the door, my breath shallow. The house felt haunted, every sound amplified. I pressed my back against the wall. Seconds stretched into minutes. I didn't know where Tiana was, or where Jamal was. I only knew one thing. I wasn't alone in that house. Silence. Then, creak. A floorboard in the hallway outside the bedroom door groaned under someone's weight. I froze. Was it Jamal? Or was it her? A shadow passed under the bottom of the door. Slow. Deliberate. Closer. My throat tightened. I held my breath until my eyes blurred. Another step. Then another. The shadow stopped directly in front of the bedroom door. I heard the softest whisper. Ariana! My blood turned to ice. Open the door. I shook my head violently, even though she couldn't see me. No. The doorknob rattled. Twisted. Shook violently. I nearly screamed. Why won't you talk to me? Her voice hissed. My hands trembled uncontrollably. Then, another voice shouted from outside. Police! Step away from the house. My knees buckled in relief. The doorknob released immediately. Feet hurried down the hallway. The front door slammed. I unlocked the bedroom door and ran to the window. Police lights flashed blue and red across the lawn. 2 officers were on the porch. Jamal was there too, hands raised, explaining something frantically. But Tiana was nowhere in sight. She vanished into the night again. Inside, the officers questioned us for nearly an hour. One of them, Officer Daniels, took detailed notes. She's escalating, he said. She's crossed from harassment to attempted break-in. You 2 need to stay somewhere else tonight. Jamal nodded quickly, but I had a question burning inside me. Officer, what if she tries to hurt me? Or the baby? Officer Daniels' expression softened. That's why I want you somewhere safe. Do you have family nearby? I shook my head. Close friends. Lydia, I whispered. Good. Pack a bag and stay with her. And tomorrow, file the emergency protective order. After they left, I sat on the couch, numb. Jamal placed a hand on my shoulder. I'm so sorry, he whispered. I looked at him, eyes empty. This is more than cheating, Jamal. This is life-threatening. He nodded silently. But then, he said something that made the room spin. Ariana, there's something else you need to know about her. My chest tightened. What now? I asked softly, already terrified of the answer. He swallowed hard. She didn't just break into houses before. She didn't just stalk men. He paused, voice shaking. She hurt someone. My breath caught. What do you mean? He looked at me with fear in his eyes. Tiana has a record for violence, and she once attacked the wife of the last man she obsessed over. My heart stopped. I pressed a hand protectively over my stomach, and for the first time, I felt a fear deeper than heartbreak. A primal fear. A fear for my child. After Jamal told me that Tiana had attacked a wife before, I felt everything inside me collapse. My hands trembled. My voice cracked. Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Jamal stared at the floor. I didn't think she'd come after you. I thought I could handle it. Handle it? My voice rose painfully. You couldn't even handle staying loyal. You brought a dangerous woman into our lives, and now, I'm the one who has to fear for my life. He covered his face with his hands, shaking. I know, Ariana. I messed up, but I didn't know how far she'd go. I walked away from him, not out of anger, but because every part of me felt unsafe, with her and with him. I stood near the window. Police lights had faded. The night felt too quiet again. What exactly happened to the other woman she attacked? I asked. Jamal froze. She had to move states. My stomach twisted. And the man? He left the company because she kept showing up. I swallowed hard, feeling nauseous. And you thought you could hide this from me? I whispered. He didn't answer, because there was no answer that would fix what he broke. I sat down on the couch, needing space. My heart beat wildly. Tell me everything, I said. Every detail. How it started. Why it happened. I want the truth, Jamal. All of it. He inhaled shakily. It started before Christmas. My breath caught. And you didn't tell me anything for months. He looked guilty. She would come to my desk, bring coffee, laugh at my jokes. I thought it was harmless. Then one night after work, I stayed late. She stayed too. I felt bile rise in my throat. His voice cracked. I swear I didn't go looking for anything. I didn't plan it. But she kissed me first. I closed my eyes tightly. The pain felt physical, sharp, stabbing deep. You kissed her back, I whispered. He nodded slowly. And that was the start. He wiped tears angrily from his face. I didn't fall for her. But she made me feel admired, needed, like I was impressive. And I got addicted to that feeling. So I wasn't enough for you? I asked quietly. His eyes widened. No, Ariana, everything. I was just weak. Pathetic. I didn't realize she was manipulating me from the beginning. I stared at him. And now her obsession is my problem. He lowered his head. She blames you, he whispered. A cold, suffocating silence filled the room. For what? I asked. For ruining her relationship with me. My jaw dropped. She told me, Jamal continued, voice shaking. Your wife is the obstacle. Remove her, and you'll be free. A chill crawled up my spine. Remove her. Remove me. We packed a bag and headed for Lydia's house. But we never made it. As we approached the driveway, Jamal suddenly slowed the car. I frowned. What's wrong? He pointed at the road ahead. My stomach dropped. A black sedan, the same one from before, was parked directly across our neighbor's lawn facing our house. Her. Waiting. Watching. As soon as our headlights hit her car, she sped off, tires screeching. Jamal grabbed my hand. That's it. We are leaving right now. But before he could drive forward, something made me gasp. A shadowy figure was standing near our mailbox. Frozen. Still. Watching us. I grabbed Jamal's arm. Is that? He squinted. It is. Tiana. She stepped into the light of the street lamp, revealing her face. Her eyes were wide. Emotionless. Cold. She mouthed something. 3 words. I couldn't hear her voice, but I read her lips perfectly. He is mine. I felt my heartbeat spike. My body went cold. Then she pointed directly at me. Not at Jamal. At me. And she smiled. A slow, terrifying smile. Before Jamal could react, she sprinted to her car, jumped in, and disappeared again into the dark street. My chest tightened. I whispered, "She's not trying to win you back. She's trying to scare me. Or worse." Jamal grabbed my shaking hand. "She's trying to break you." But deep down, I knew something worse. She wasn't trying to break me. She was trying to remove me. We arrived at Lydia's house past midnight. She opened the door immediately, eyes wide with concern. "Get inside," she whispered. "What happened?" I stepped inside and suddenly felt a sharp pain in my stomach. A tightening. Hard. Deep. Like something clawing from the inside. I gasped and held my belly. "Ariana!" Lydia rushed to me. It's the baby," I whispered, tears streaming. Jamal's face turned pale. "What's wrong?" "Ariana, talk to me." I don't know, it hurts." Lydia helped me to the couch. My breaths came out in short bursts. The pain intensified. A sharp stabbing sensation. Then another. No, I whispered. "Not now. Not because of this." Lydia grabbed her keys. "We're going to the ER. Now." Jamal lifted me carefully, and we rushed to the car. During the drive, my mind spiraled. What if stress caused this? What if fear did? What if Tiana's threats, her presence, broke something inside me? I pressed my hands to my stomach, praying. Please stay with me," I whispered to my unborn child. Tears streamed down my face. Jamal leaned over while driving. "Ariana, breathe. We're almost there. I'm right here." But for the first time, I realized something terrifying. What if he wasn't enough to protect me anymore? What if no one was? At the hospital, nurses rushed me into a monitoring room. Lydia held my hand tightly. Jamal paced nervously. After what felt like forever, the doctor entered. "How far along are you?" 4 weeks, I whispered. He placed a hand on my arm reassuringly. "The pain is concerning, but right now the heartbeat is steady. The baby is safe." I covered my face, relieved beyond words. "But we need to run tests," he added. Then he frowned. "Have you experienced extreme stress recently?" I let out a shaky laugh. "More than you can imagine." He nodded slowly. "Stress this severe can cause complications. You need to stay in a calm environment, away from anything provoking fear or adrenaline." My chest tightened. How could I stay calm when there was a stalker after me? One who knew my name, my house, my routines. The doctor's next question shook me. "Has anyone threatened you physically?" My eyes widened. Jamal paused. I hesitated. "Why, yes," I whispered. The doctor froze. "Threatened you or the baby?" Jamal grabbed my hand. He answered before I could. "Both." The doctor straightened. "That's not just stress. That's danger. We may need to involve security or law enforcement." I swallowed hard. "Doctor, will my baby be okay?" He softened his voice. "For now, yes. But you need absolute safety." Absolute safety. A phrase that felt impossible. Back at Lydia's house later that night, I woke up thirsty and walked quietly toward the kitchen. That's when I heard Jamal and Lydia talking in low voices. I stopped. Not intentionally, but because their words made my heart stop. Lydia whispered, "Jamal, I know you're sorry, but Ariana deserves the whole truth." Jamal sighed deeply. "I told her everything." "No," Lydia said sharply. "There's something else." "Isn't there?" Silence. My breath caught. "What else?" Jamal swallowed audibly. "I didn't want her to know, because she's pregnant. I didn't want to stress her." Lydia's voice hardened. "She deserves to know." I pressed a hand against the doorway, trembling. My heart felt like it was trying to escape my chest. Finally, Jamal whispered, "Tiana, she's not just obsessed. She's pregnant too." The world tilted. My vision blurred. My breath stopped. Pregnant. Too. My knees weakened. The entire room felt like it was caving in. My body went numb. I don't remember how I stepped into the kitchen, how I walked, how I breathed. But suddenly, I was standing there in front of them. Both Lydia and Jamal froze when they saw me. Jamal's face went white. "Hey, Ariana, you're awake." My voice wasn't a scream. It wasn't even loud. It was small, fragile, broken, pregnant. His lips parted, but no sound came out. I took a step closer, trembling. "She's pregnant, Jamal." He ran a hand through his hair, pacing anxiously. I didn't want you to find out like this. How should I find out? I whispered. When she shows up with the baby at our door. Tears stung my eyes, blurring the room. Jamal stepped forward, reaching for me. Ariana, please listen. I slapped his hand away, so hard that the sound echoed in the quiet kitchen. Do not touch me. He flinched. My voice trembled violently. Tell me the truth. Right now. Is she pregnant? He hesitated, then nodded slowly. I think she is. My chest tightened so painfully I couldn't breathe. You think. I choked. You think. He looked at the floor. She told me she was. But Ariana, I don't know if she's telling the truth. She lies. She manipulates. I don't know what to believe. I was shaking uncontrollably now. But you could have gotten her pregnant, I said softly. My voice cracked. He closed his eyes. Yes. That single word shattered the last piece of me that was still intact. Lydia stepped closer, touching my back gently. Come sit down, sweetheart. I shook my head, tears dripping down my chin. No. I can't sit. I can't breathe. Everything feels. I placed a hand on my stomach. My child. The innocent life inside me. And now another child, possibly his, existed somewhere in the world because of the woman trying to destroy me. It felt like someone ripped my heart out, not with violence, but with the cruelest betrayal. Lydia made me tea and sat me down slowly. Jamal kneeled in front of me. Ariana, please listen to me. I don't trust her. She lies about everything. She may be lying about this too. I stared at him, tears streaming. But she could be telling the truth, Jamal. And if she is, then you didn't just cheat on me. You created a child with her. A life. A family. And you expect me to stay by your side while that possibility exists. He looked like he was about to break. Ariana, I swear, I do not know whose child it is. If she even is pregnant. But I'm willing to take a test, to do anything. Lydia crossed her arms. Jamal, you should have said this from the beginning. Ariana shouldn't have had to overhear it. He lowered his head. I'm sorry. I didn't want to stress her. Not after what happened earlier. The pain in my stomach earlier felt like it was coming back. Stress. Fear. Loss of trust. This pregnancy wasn't supposed to feel like this. I wiped my tears. If Tiana is pregnant, what does she want? Jamal didn't answer immediately. Then he whispered, She wants me. And she wants you out of the way. My body froze. She told me once, Your wife is in the way of my future. A violent chill ran through me. And you hide that from me? I screamed. Jamal covered his face with both hands. I thought I could fix it alone. I thought it would stop. I didn't want you to hate me. It's too late, I said quietly. The next morning, 2 officers came to Lydia's house. They looked serious. Mrs. Winters, one officer said, We found a black sedan parked near your street last night after you left. My body stiffened. The officer continued. When we approached the vehicle, the driver sped off. We couldn't identify her. My voice shook. Do you think she's dangerous? The officer exchanged a look with his partner. Her behavior is escalating. We recommend you do not stay at your home. And do not return to your workplace without police being aware. Lydia stepped forward. Can she be arrested? The officer sighed. Right now. Without a direct threat or physical attack, it's difficult. But the protective order you're filing today will help. He handed me a small card. If she contacts you again, even once, call us immediately. Before leaving, he gave one more warning. Mrs. Winters, do not underestimate her. Women like this can be unpredictable. His eyes softened with sympathy. You're not safe alone. Stay with someone you trust. I nodded slowly, my heart pounding. Someone I trust. I looked at Lydia, then at Jamal. And for the first time, I wasn't sure he belonged in that category anymore. Later that afternoon, while Lydia and I prepared lunch, my phone buzzed. I expected Lydia's husband, or maybe the doctor. But when I picked it up, my stomach dropped. A known number. One message. A picture message. My hand shook violently as I opened it. It was a photo of me, standing in Lydia's driveway last night. Taken from behind. Taken secretly. Taken while I was crying in pain, holding my stomach. The caption underneath read, You look weak. Perfect. The phone nearly slipped from my hand. Lydia grabbed my shoulders. What happened? Ariana, you're turning pale. I showed her the photo. Her face drained of all color. Oh my God, she was here last night. I felt dizzy. Jamal entered the kitchen when he heard Lydia scream. What's going on? I handed him my phone. His eyes widened, then filled with rage. No. Ariana, she followed us here. She knows where Lydia lives. Lydia clenched her fists. She took that picture while Ariana was collapsing in pain. She was literally watching us. But the worst part was the next message that followed. Tell your husband I'll take what should have been mine. I whispered. What does she want? What should have been hers? Jamal whispered back, his voice shaking. Me. But I shook my head. No. It's not just you. My hand instinctively moved to my belly. She wants my baby out of the way. The fear in the house was suffocating. We all double-checked the locks, closed the blinds, kept the lights dim. But my heart wouldn't stop racing. Later that night, Jamal said, I'm going to step outside and call the police again. I want them to send someone to watch the street. Lydia frowned. Don't go alone. I'll be right outside, he insisted. Just a few minutes. I stayed on the couch, hugging a blanket around me. Minutes passed. 10 minutes. 15. 20. Lydia looked at me nervously. Shouldn't he be back by now? My stomach twisted. I don't know. Another 5 minutes. I stood up. No. Something's wrong. We both rushed to the front door and stepped outside. The driveway was empty. Jamal's phone lay on the pavement. Screen cracked. Still glowing. But he was nowhere. Not in the yard. Not near the car. Not on the street. Just gone. Just missing. A cold wind brushed my skin. And on the ground next to his phone was a small folded note. My hands shook as I picked it up. 4 handwritten words. Words that made my vision blur, my legs weaken, my heart stop. You're next, Ariana. The police arrived within minutes after we found the note. They searched the bushes, the driveway, the backyard. Even Lydia's neighbors joined with flashlights. But Jamal was nowhere. The officer in charge, Officer Daniels, approached me gently. Mrs. Winters, we found signs of a struggle. My heart throbbed painfully. What kind of signs? He held up a small torn piece of fabric. Dark blue. From Jamal's hoodie. He didn't walk away, the officer said firmly. I felt my knees weaken. Lydia held me upright. He was taken, Daniels continued quietly. And we have a good idea who took him. A cold, terrifying realization formed in my mind. Tiana, I whispered. The officer nodded grimly. She left that note, and she wanted you to see it. They led me into the police car to take a statement. I sat shaking, clutching my stomach. The officer's voice was calm, but urgent. Tiana has a known pattern. Obsession, manipulation, escalation. I swallowed hard. Do you think she'll hurt him? The officer didn't answer immediately. We hope not, he said. But she's unstable. And people like her often lash out at the one they feel betrayed them. My chest tightened. So Jamal might be in danger because he tried to stop her. The officer nodded. And because he chose you over her. Those words stabbed deeper than any knife. Even after everything he had done. I didn't want him hurt. Not like this. Officer, we have to find him. Please. We will, he promised. But his eyes revealed a truth I didn't want to see. He wasn't sure. The next morning felt unreal. Lydia stayed by my side the whole night. Every noise made me jump. Every shadow felt like her. Every minute without Jamal felt like a lifetime. Around 9 a.m., a police car pulled up outside. Officer Daniel stepped out, his face serious. My stomach twisted. Mrs. Winters, we found something. My heart started pounding. He pulled out a small plastic evidence bag. Inside it, Jamal's wedding ring. I gasped, covering my mouth. It was found near an abandoned warehouse 2 miles from here, Daniel said. We're searching the building now. My knees buckled. Lydia held me upright again. Is he alive? I whispered, trembling. Daniels didn't answer, but his silence was louder than any words. While the police searched the warehouse, Daniels asked me to sit in the station for my safety. The room smelled like old coffee and metal file cabinets. Daniels sat across from me. There's something you should know about Tiana, he said carefully. I braced myself. She had an ex-boyfriend 2 years ago. I swallowed. I know. Jamal told me she was obsessed. Daniels shook his head. It was worse than that. He slid a file across the table. I opened it. A photo stared back at me, a woman with bruises, fear in her eyes. Not Tiana, her ex-boyfriend's wife. She attacked her? I whispered. Yes, Daniel said. She believed the wife was standing in the way. She followed her, harassed her, and eventually cornered her in a parking garage. The woman survived, but barely. My chest tightened. She only served 8 months in a mental health facility, Daniels continued. Then she got out and moved to Charlotte. And then she found Jamal, I whispered. Daniels nodded slowly. And now she's repeating the pattern. A cold realization washed over me. She's not after Jamal. Daniels looked at me. She's after you. Hours passed. No news. No updates. No sign of Jamal. My body started trembling uncontrollably. I hugged myself, crying silently. Lydia placed a warm blanket around my shoulders. It's not your fault, she whispered. You didn't create this. You are a victim too. I shook my head. But my baby, if something happens to Jamal, if something happens to me, this child will grow up without a father. Lydia held my face between her hands. That will not happen. You hear me? You survived everything. You will survive this too. But her voice couldn't quiet the terror inside me. Only one thought consumed me. If Tiana could take Jamal, she could take me too. As evening fell, my phone vibrated. Unknown number. My blood froze. Lydia grabbed my arm. Ariana, don't answer. But I did. My voice trembled. Hello. A long silence. Then breathing. Slow. Steady. Cold. Then. A woman's voice. Soft. Almost sweet. You ruined everything. My heart stopped. Tiana. I whispered shakily. She chuckled softly. You think you can just take him back? You think he wants you? I swallowed hard. Where is Jamal? Silence. Then. He's learning his lesson. A choked sob escaped me. What have you done? Please, Tiana, please don't hurt him. She ignored me. He chose you. After everything I gave him. After everything I did. After every moment I made him feel alive. Her voice shifted, darker. And now you're carrying the baby that should have been mine. My stomach twisted violently. Tiana, please, you don't have to do this. She laughed. A low, deranged laugh that made my skin crawl. Oh, sweetheart, it's already done. The line went dead. I froze. Lydia grabbed my shoulders. What did she say? Ariana, what happened? I couldn't speak. Because deep inside, I feared the worst. 30 minutes later, police sirens cut through the night. Daniels rushed inside. We found him. My legs nearly buckled from relief. Is he alive? I cried. Daniels nodded quickly. He's alive, weak but alive. We're taking him to the hospital now. I broke down in Lydia's arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Relief, fear, love, pain, all crashing together. Where was he? Lydia asked. Daniels hesitated. A warehouse. He was tied up. A lot of bruising. But he managed to break a window with a piece of metal and scream for help. I covered my mouth. Oh my God! Daniels continued quietly. And he said something important before losing consciousness. My breath caught. What did he say? Daniels looked at me with seriousness. He said, Tiana, she was never pregnant. My eyes widened. She lied. I whispered. Daniels nodded. She used that lie to manipulate Jamal. To trap him. But she was never pregnant. Not even once. A massive weight lifted from my chest. But the fear returned instantly when Daniels added. And she's still missing. At the hospital, I entered Jamal's room slowly. He was bruised, exhausted, and hooked to 4 fluids. When he saw me, he started crying. Ariana, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I held his hand gently. You're safe now, I whispered. That's all that matters. He shook his head weakly. You deserve better. You deserve everything I failed to give you. Tears filled my eyes. You hurt me, Jamal. Deeply. But I never wanted this to happen to you. He looked ashamed. Ariana, she said she'd destroy our lives if I left her. I didn't know she would take it this far. I placed a hand on my stomach. I have to think about the baby now. And myself. His eyes softened with regret. I understand. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to be safe. I nodded slowly. We'll figure out the rest later. But as I turned to leave, something caught my attention. A movement outside the hospital room window. A shadow. A cold chill ran through me. But then, security guards rushed into the hallway. "Ma'am, please step back. We've secured the building." Daniels approached me. "Good news," he said. "We found her." My heart raced. "Where?" He took a breath. "She was hiding near the emergency entrance. She's in custody now." I closed my eyes, relief washing through me. It was over. Finally, over. Sunlight warmed my face as I sat on a park bench, watching my daughter sleep in her stroller. Maya, a beautiful baby girl with my eyes. I lived alone now. Peacefully. Safely. Therapy healed my wounds. Time strengthened me. Motherhood transformed me. Jamal recovered. We divorced quietly, respectfully. He apologized every day for months. And now he's part of Maya's life, not as a husband, but as a father. Tiana. She was placed in a long-term psychiatric facility after being declared mentally unstable. She will never hurt anyone again. As I watched Maya sleep, I whispered, "We survived, sweetheart." A gentle breeze moved the leaves. The world felt peaceful. Soft. New. I wasn't the same woman I once was. I was stronger. Wiser. And finally, free. If you enjoyed this emotional story and want more powerful drama, twists, and real-life inspired journeys, make sure to subscribe to Embersoul Narratives. Tap subscribe and join our community of story lovers.